What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we have a really cool Toyota Supra to take a look at. Big shout out to Alta Auto Group for letting me check out this Supra for the day. I'll have their website linked down below. So this Supra behind me makes over 600 wheel horsepower. I'll have the exact specification down in the description below as well. And we have a Street Hunter wide body kit on it. So needless to say, this is a highly modified car. So let's just take a quick look at it. Has a very cool wrap on it. Kind of matches the beautiful blue sky we got today. But as you can see, we also have the carbon fiber up front for the lip, all of the fenders, and then a really nice set of white wheels with matching calipers. You can see how the fenders are all laid out. Definitely a pretty wild car. And then as we make our way to the back, we have a massive rear wing. You can just see how aggressive this car is. We got 305s in back, but super wide setup. Definitely looks pretty aggressive. And then taking a look at the exhaust, we got some black tips on here. Of course, a full exhaust on this car. There's a nitrous bottle in the trunk, and this thing runs on meth. So we got all sorts of goodies on this Supra. This is gonna be a pretty fun car to drive. And as you can see, it looks pretty wild, of course, with these white wheels and that wide body kit. And then moving to the interior, pretty stock setup. We do have a nice carbon fiber steering wheel with some shift lights on it and upgraded carbon fiber paddles. Other than that, pretty stock looking, and you can just get a little bit of a look at that nitrous bottle in back. But with that said, let's see what this car's like to drive. So as we start to take a test drive now, looking at the dyno-graph, this makes 615 wheel horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque. Hopefully you can see that pretty nicely. So no, I actually used to own a Supra. Mine made 450 wheel horsepower and 560 torque. So this should be quite a lot faster than my car. So slowly getting up to speed, just normal acceleration. Once you get it closer to 4, you can start feeling it, start to pull a little bit. But normal driving, it does feel like a normal car. A little bit louder exhaust system than what I had on mine. I don't think there's any active valve on this setup, so fully straight piped. Not too bad. It's actually pretty comfortable and normal so far just driving it. When it's in the higher gear, it does a pretty good job just keeping the revs down and things like that. So right there, getting more into the RPM, you feel that turbo build and build. My car, I never upgraded the turbo or fuel system, and being a 2020, mine had that instant torque where it would spin the tires pretty easily. 2021, 2 and 3s, they don't really have that issue because they do have a better turbo manifold set up to where the turbo takes a little bit longer to come on and it doesn't get that low torque crazy instantly like the 2020 did. This one, of course, crazy modifications and all sorts of good things in it. It's going to have a pretty linear power band, but at least right now feeling it out like a normal car. You know, this cool steering wheel is pretty neat. I like the notches all in it. And it's really not compromised of a car to drive. You don't even see the spoiler in the rearview mirror. All you see is the support pieces. It is way too tall to even see it when I look back there. You can see the fenders in your mirrors, which is pretty sweet. Of course, the wide body makes this thing pretty darn wide. But normal driving, I mean, it's really no different than your typical Supra. So then with that said, it's been a while since I've been in a Supra. Sport mode on and in manual mode, so that tightens up the steering, the suspension, the engine tuning is better, and it kind of gets the whole car sharper to where it can be a lot more fun to drive. Even with 305s, it can get a little tail happy under half throttle. Ooh, I'm already like starting to feel that this car has some power to it. We'll put traction control in just the sport setting at least. I'm not going to turn it all the way off. I don't want to get too crazy in this car. Man, just playing with the throttle a little bit. You can feel how the weight just carries so well. Let's slow down a little bit and feel it out under a nice acceleration. Man, you can already tell there's like so much power trying to build. Gosh. This is way different than my car. Oh my gosh, the power builds. Like, this is literally, feels kind of like my GTR, but more dramatic given we have rear wheel drive. It makes the car just so much more to handle. Gosh, it's a handful. Like, this is literally, oh my gosh, this turns into a car that is a lot to handle, to where it just, like, I don't even know. That's insane. We get a little bit of the exhaust going over this bridge. It is loud. It sounds sick in here. Holy crap, that is just nuts. There's so much drama. Gosh, and now with the Supra coming out now with the manual transmission, that would be a wild car to buy again and then highly modify that car. Gosh. Oh man, this car is a car you can have some fun with. Yeah, the acceleration in the car is just nuts to drive, and I feel like it doesn't really lose much drivability aside from the fact that you gotta be a little bit more on your toes. So comment below, should I end up buying another Supra? Of course, I'm in line right now to buy the new Nissan Z, but I'm thinking after that, maybe get a manual Supra. Gosh, this V58 motor we already know is such a rock solid motor that has so much power potential. You can build them up so crazy, and especially if you take one of these with a manual, that would just make, I think, the driver engagement a whole new level, to where this thing would just be wild to drive. With the automatic, it's not bad. It's a pretty snappy automatic transmission. It does a lot of what you need it to do. But man, oh man, I can't imagine with a stick shift. Gets a little bit out from under you. Gosh. Oh my gosh. That is like high-end performance acceleration you get out of this. And it's impressive. Stock, these make like 350 horsepower. And the fact that you can tune them up, build them up a little bit, and it's not even that crazy expensive of a build if you're just talking about the engine and stuff like that. But man, these things come alive. Oh man, this thing is too crazy. Now there is a nitrous button right here. You can see the NX logo. There's like a toggle switch and a button. I'm not gonna press that because I don't know what will happen in this car. But it's crazy with this car with the meth as well as the nitrous. It is just a handful. Well then, to answer the question, what is it like driving a more than 600 wheel horsepower Toyota Supra? It is a handful, and it makes this car into just a whole new level. I know a lot of people have been comparing the new Nissan Z to the Supra. And as much as I sold my Supra to buy the new Z, I still think the Supra, of course, has more potential as far as really modifying the motor. The Nissan, of course, is going to be good for maybe a 500 horsepower build, but the Supra, the B58, can handle well over 600. And honestly, you could even make this go to 700 or something like that. The engine on this one is probably making about 700 if at the wheels were where we are. Oh man, this thing is just wild. It really takes us to a whole new level. Gosh. It is literally a rocket ship that makes you stay on your toes. This is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. I can't imagine just being on like a straightaway, just ripping it to speed. But I mean, this will hit whatever speed you want pretty darn quickly, and you just got to pay attention, you know, be able to handle the rear wheel drive aspects to it. But Man, the Toyota Supra is such a good car in the performance. And maybe after I'm done with my first Z, I'll get a Nismo to play with it, and then probably, honestly, get back into another Supra, get a manual Supra, and maybe that might be a long-term car. Add a bigger turbo and make that thing a 600 horsepower manual transmission rear-wheel drive car, because that would just be insane. Gosh. Then when you let off, it's so violent. Like, there is so much drama, so much violence in this car. It's awesome. I love it. Alright, I think that about wraps it up driving in a highly, highly modified Toyota Supra. Gosh, these things really are fun. Every time I drive one, it seems, I just realize how good of a car it is. Ever since I did sell mine, I don't regret selling mine, of course. It all worked out for what I'm trying to do. But it truly is a really good car. God, hearing that turbo spooling is insane. But these cars really are way above what they're rated. They can do so much, and it really is a pretty rock solid car. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video testing out this highly modified Toyota Supra. Big shout out and thank you once again to Alta Auto Group for providing this car for today's video. They have a really awesome selection of pre-owned inventory, some exotic, some modified cars, pretty much everything under the sun. They have something. So definitely check out their website linked below. If you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.